Hello students. This video deals with the last part of the second unit of second part of the fourth unit, that is man-made disasters. The last part, which is bomb threats. So bomb threats is one sort of personal emergency which all of us think is not going to happen to us. But sometimes when such things do happen, and when it happens, we are taken unawares. And these are some things to keep in mind if such a thing happens to you. One thing, primarily, the thing that you should not do is to take it as a hoax and to dismiss it. You should pay attention to it whenever, if and when a bomb threat is issued to you. Usually it might be by phone, maybe it might be by mail also. Such threats can be received. It should never be dismissed outright. Some sort of investigation should be carried out. The proper authorities should be notified about it, and investigations should be carried out for safety's sake. And bomb threats can be of two types. One can be specific bomb threat, in which you get a specific information is also conveyed to you about a suspicious item, about where the device is kept, about the general location or specific location of where the device is kept. Another is a non-specific bomb threat, in which no such information is passed to you, just a general threat that a bomb is installed in the building or in the general vicinity, it is going to go off. So such threats might come. So if it is by phone, if you're receiving that threat by phone, you have to keep calm. So first thing to do in any sort of emergency is to remind yourself to keep calm, not to get too emotionally disturbed about it, not to lose your senses, and to act in a calm and rational manner. Tell yourself to do that, tell yourself to calm down, and then pick up all the clues that you can. So ask the person, if a person is calling you on the landline, you can use your mobile phone to call the authorities. Make sure that the police is informed. And it's not something that you can handle by yourself. You need expert advice for this. So you have to inform the police. So you can use the mobile to call the police, and you can ask the caller, and make sure that the caller doesn't get to hear that you're informing the police. That could aggravate the situation. And speak in a calm manner. Ask that person to repeat what he or she has said. You can say that you haven't heard properly. Ask them to repeat. And a bomb is usually a container filled with explosive or inflammable substance designed to explode on impact or with a timing detonation device by proximity or remote controlled device. So when you get information about it, you have to inform the authorities and give them as much information as possible. So while talking to the person who is issuing the threat, so if it can be by mail or by a written note, but if it is by phone, you have to listen for background sounds. You have to prolong the conversation and listen to any sort of clues that can give away the location of the person who is issuing the threats, so that it can be helpful to the police in nabbing him. While talking to the person who is issuing the threat, make sure that you don't get angry. Speak in a very calm manner. Don't make the other person angry or angrier in that situation. And collect as much information as you can, and extend the call as much as possible, and then inform meanwhile, maybe you can write down the message if you're still stuck on that call, and if it's on your mobile phone, then if there is somebody else with you, you can pass a note to somebody else, informing them to call the police about the situation. And once the police is informed, the next thing to do is to evacuate the building. So even if it is a hoax, and even if whether it's true or if it's a hoax, the building has to be evacuated. No chances should be taken, and every building should have an evacuation procedure. This should be decided beforehand. Everyone in the building should be aware of it, and they should evacuate the building in an orderly fashion. And even if you chance upon a device or something looking like a bomb, do not go near it or try to defuse it yourself. You have to wait for the bomb squad, for the experts to come and do that. And such disasters can never be predicted, and you have to be vigilant constantly. Industries and factories and labs, they should all follow the strict safety measures, and every building should have an evacuation procedure. And you have students also can visit nearby industries and check it for the safety procedures that are taken to prevent any disasters there. Just let's take a look at the key concepts of this unit. One is methyl isocyanate. That was the gas that caused the death of the 20,000 people in Bhopal gas tragedy. It's a water reactive liquid at room temperature, and it is irritating to the skin, corrosive to the eyes, skin and respiratory tract. That's why they were describing the sensation of breathing in chilies, that chili is going in, and including asthma-like allergy can be caused by this. And it can result, when you are exposed to it, it can cause cough, difficulty in breathing, chest pain, and excessive tearing up of the eyes, lacrimation of the eyes, swelling of the eyes, and then unconsciousness. PP is another term. PP is something that you might be quite familiar with right now, because you might have read about it in the famous papers about the lack of sufficient numbers of it during this time. PP is the personal protective equipment. So that is worn to minimize the exposure to hazards, if it is chemical exposure or whether it is pathogen exposure that is to be avoided. This is the clothing that is worn, the kit that is worn, goggles, helmet, and a covering that protects all the whole body from the hazardous material or the organism that you can be exposed to. So it helps the people who have to work with these things, doctors to work with these patients, then experts who are dealing with the spillage and other such disasters, who are occupied in the cleanup activities. They too have to wear this thing. Union Carbide Corporation, that was the corporation that was responsible for the spillage and for the tragedy. It's a wholly owned subsidiary of Dow Chemical Company. It produces chemicals and polymers. And markets served include paints, packaging, wire and cable, household products, personal care, pharmaceuticals, automotive, textiles, agriculture, and oil and gas. And it was in 1970 that Union Carbide Corporation India Limited built a pesticide plant in Bhopal, and which resulted in the Bhopal tragedy. And at the time of the disaster, UCIL was ranked 21st in the companies and in size among the companies, 21st biggest company in India at that time. It had revenues of 2 billion rupees. So these are some of the things. And specific bomb threat, which gives you information about the location and type of bomb that is installed. And non-specific bomb threat, just that there is a bomb in the building, there is a bomb there, I've kept a bomb there. So it's non-specific. These are some of the terms that you should be familiar with. Thank you.